All right, welcome back to the Daily Tribal Sovereignty Report for today, Tuesday, August 11th, 2026. My name is Hauhitan. My English name is Aaron Thomas, and this is your chance to hear the breakdown of critical legal battles and energy moves and sovereignty updates shaping Indian country today. Now, before we dive in, please hit that like button, share this broadcast, and subscribe so you never miss an update. And remember, you can get this podcast wherever you podcasts are located. Let's go ahead and get right into the news. According to the AP News, NPR News, and Native News Online, a regulatory vacuum at the National Indian Gaming Commission is crippling tribal oversight. The NIGC remains without a Senate-confirmed chairperson, and under the Indian Gaming Regulatory Act, critical enforcement powers like certifying management contracts, approving new gaming ordinances, and enforcing safety rules are vested solely in the chair. Now, why does this matter? Tribal casinos generate tens of billions annually for essential healthcare, housing, and tribal social programs. And without an active chairperson, tribes cannot formalize key third-party management contracts, leaving tribal staff stretched thin to manage complex operations like the Iowa tribe of Oklahoma's newly opened Harris facility. And for sovereignty, this is huge. Self-determination requires both regulatory autonomy and predictable enforcement. A frozen federal agency threatens tribes' legal ability to safeguard their financial independence and combat unauthorized market intrusions like the unregulated online prediction markets like Kalshi. Now, on the flip side, some gaming industry representatives and tribal coalition leaders, including the Cherokee Nation's Indian Gaming Association, are expressing deep frustration with federal delays, alleging that political ties to emerging prediction platforms like Kalshi and Polymarket have led to intentional neglect in filling this vacancy. In another news today, according to Tribal Business News and the Cherokee Nation, they have enacted a strict ban on hyperscale data centers on tribal and trust lands. Principal Chief Chuck Hoskin Jr. issued the prohibition following a comprehensive task force report. Now, this decision directly defends tribal self-determination by prioritizing local energy grid stability, water reservation, and environmental conservation over speculative mega developments. It's a textbook example of energy and water sovereignty in action, putting community needs above other people's expansion. Now, pushback has come from commercial tech developers and regional economic groups who argue that banning data infrastructure limits short-term tech investments and commercial tax revenue. Meanwhile, according to the U.S. Department of Energy Office of Indian Energy, federal officials have rolled out updated guidance releasing up to $218.5 million in high-efficiency electric home rebate grants for tribal nations. This allows tribes to fund localized clean energy transitions, weatherize homes, and reduce utility burdens without relying on non-tribal energy providers. Now, opposition has come from conservative policy analysts questioning federal grant spending, as well as rural utility co-ops voicing concern over grid decoupling. And moving across the United States and Canada, tribes are asserting autonomy over food and education. According to regional tribal reports, tribal nations across the plains and Midwest are accelerating the reclamation of ancestral agricultural methods alongside buffalo restoration initiatives. This effort directly insulates communities against national supply chain shocks, reduced health disparities, and fosters agricultural workforce development and protects tribal land holdings. And in education, according to community updates, the Osage Nation is navigating intense community dialogue following budget constraints affecting language immersion schools. Now, this highlights the delicate balance between federal funding allocations and cultural preservation. Language immersion remains vital for cultural survival and educational autonomy, ensuring youth maintain their indigenous identity without modern economic and academic frameworks. We now turn our attention to weather impacts across tribal homelands. According to current weather advisories, active wind-driven wildfire threats continue across northern New Mexico, including the 4 Mile fire near the Zuni Mountain and Fort Wingate regions. High temperatures and gusty conditions keep grass and pinyon juniper fuels highly volatile. In the Pacific Northwest and Intermountain West, wildfire smoke and extreme dry conditions continue to degrade air quality across tribal territories and across the Northern Plains and Canadian First Nations. Heat advisories and localized severe thunderstorm watches pose significant strains on crops and power grids throughout portions of Alberta, Saskatchewan, and the Dakotas. Finally, for tribal leaders and policy staff, here are two key updates and dates to keep on your radar. First, according to the U.S. Department of Energy, a virtual webinar titled Tribal Pathways in Nuclear Energy, Opportunities and Federal Support will take place on August 13, 2026 from 3 to 4 p.m. Eastern Time. The session will cover micro reactors, small modular reactors, and technology support for clean energy diversification. And secondly, according to the Native American Finance Officers Association, registration is now open for the upcoming NAFOA Fall Conference, focusing on economic development, treasury updates, and federal tax compliance for tribal leaders and CFOs and all who want to come and network and get some information about tribal economies. All right, that wraps up your briefing for today, August 11th, 2026. If this breakdown helped you stay informed or on the issues that matter to Indian country, show me some love. Like this video, share it with your community, and click that subscribe button down below. Don't forget, you can catch these episodes of the show wherever you listen to podcasts. Thanks again for tuning in, and stay safe, stay sovereign, and we'll see you again tomorrow for another Daily Tribal Sovereignty Report.